You ready, Sal?
You just used to debate a place where they separate the real from the fake. Call in, listen, better pay some attention that they cooking in the kitchen. Want a meal, get a plate. We go to Shaughan definitions and the whole nine. Better have you listen, playing and be on time. So when we sell down, King get a top thing. Lining them all up, reason why they call them showtime. We at war, let the glass to the tightest. They blow the trumpet, it's a call on the Zion. I spit truth in my ass, sharp and iron. You gotta be down, yo, when you dealing with a lion. We study hard to persuade a brother and convey to others what the scripture really saying. That it's a debate, brother. It's a wake up, brother. Maybe you relate to others. If you wanna hate a brother, I'ma holler later, brother.
Don't agree, no PhD, just use a word in your brain. Different camps up in this Hebrew Israelite domain. We are global now, worldwide, blowing out like propane. Now it's time to pull them swords out and let's see who gon' hang. Yahushua, and more will call him Jehovah God. And Lord of all, did he pre-exist before the fall? Or do I just ignore it all? Blog talk, radio, lines in, my favorite show. Uncut like HBO. Call in, let the people know.
Yahweh has given me the tongue of the learned, that I should seek a word and season to him who is weary. And I pray, have the ear of the learned, that you should understand what my Father's saying more clearly. It's Yahweh. That's why we on debate talk for you, so we can uproot all them lies and speak the spirit of truth. Yahweh. So study to show yourself approved. Call in and get ready for debate talk for you.
This is Sal Showtime, host of the very popular online radio show, Debate Talk for You. Once again, taking this time out to thank each and every person out there for tuning in from Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, by going to the website www.blogtalkradio.com/debatetalkforyou. This one goes out to all the sponsors out there. Those people out there that want to sponsor the show, make sure you send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. Just leave your contact information, and I'll get right back to you as soon as possible. Guys, the people tune in each and every week to the show. So once again, if you'd like to be a sponsor, send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, and the letter U @gmail.com. See you guys next time.
Never allow the possibility of your heart desire to trouble your mind, whether it is success or happiness, because your mind is a powerful machine that is very capable of manifesting anything that it conceives and believes in. Become more enlightened about life and the subconscious mind by visiting quotesforthemind.com. You are only as strong as the thoughts that constantly dwell in your mind. Therefore, never allow any negative belief about your abilities in life to be granted shelter in your mind. Edmund Mbiaka, quotesforthemind.com.
Hey, what's up for all you fashion people out there? This is Kamar Zachary, creative director of Oima Takor Fashion. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We've got the hottest designs out. We're the premier brand in the Southeast. We got all types of celebrities, athletes, and movie stars wearing our brand right now. So go ahead and check us out. You can email us at oematakor@gmail.com. That's spelled OEMATAKORR@gmail.com. Experience the lifestyle.
Hi, this is Sister Amunet, and I currently am promoting my website, which can be found on halimabeal.com. That's www.halimabeal.com, spelled HALIMABEAL.com. And we're promoting our candles, we're promoting counseling services, and we are promoting positive blogs for your spirit, soul, mind, to rejuvenate you and to inspire your life. Please feel free to reach out and hit us up on www.halimabeal.com. This is Sister Amunet signing off. Peace and blessings.
Hey, What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 4 of Debate Talk for You. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and I'm back. It's Debate Talk for You guys. Once again, we're back with a classic show. I really appreciate everybody that's calling in at the number 646-716-7320. And shout out to those people that always call in advance, 15 minutes ahead of time, and 20 minutes ahead of time to stand by patiently waiting for the show. I really appreciate all of your support, guys. Once again, we have a classic show lined up for you guys, and all of you that's online at www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate for You. Appreciate you guys all across the world listening in Canada, London. We have a strong following out there in London, England. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to Debate Talk for You. My special guest is standing by, and today's show is entitled Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. Once again, today's show is entitled Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. I was actually going through YouTube and, check out a couple videos, of course, and I came across my special guest's channel, which is Occult Sin. I recommend that everybody out there go check it out, Occult Sin. And he has a lot of very interesting videos out there revealing a lot of things. So I figured he'd be the perfect gentleman to bring on the show to speak about this particular topic. But before I introduce my special guest, of course, I've got a few announcements. As usual, send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk4 and the letter U@gmail.com. If you'd like to be a special guest, if you want to be a part of the roundtable, the debates, we have many different segments of Debate Talk for You, the show. So if you want to be a part of any of the segments of Debate Talk for You, once again, the email is debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. You go to facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. That's facebook.com/Debate Talk for You. You can download the show via iTunes, go to the podcast section, and type in the search box Debate Talk 4 and the letter U, and you'll see the show pop up absolutely free. You can download it to your PC, your Mac, your laptop, and spread the word once again about Debate Talk for You. You can check us out on YouTube as well. Got some videos up on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Debate Talk for You. Go to Instagram.com/Debate Talk for You. Check out some of the pics up there. Of course, we're on Twitter at ShowtimeDT4U. That's at Showtime, T as in David, T as in Tom, the number 4, and the letter U. We still have a limited edition Lions Den t-shirts available, guys. It's $5 per shirt. If you want to order any limited edition Lions Den t-shirt, you just go to PayPal and go send the email. It's orders@debatetalkforyou.com. Make sure you put your size in the description box. And I appreciate everybody that's been supporting and sending out donations out there and purchasing the shirts. We have a lot of people out there all across the globe that's been ordering these shirts, and all of your donations, of course, will go towards the up-and-coming projects we have this year for the Debate Talk for You. Once again, I appreciate you guys, and once again, we have more limited edition shirts. So, once again, go to PayPal, and the email is orders@debatetalkforyou.com. If you'd like to make a donation, go to the website, which is debatetalkforyou.donations.webs.com. That's debatetalkforyou.donations.webs.com. If you want to just go straight to PayPal and make a donation, the email is donations@debatetalkforyou.com. Once again, we got a couple projects coming up this summer and also actually this year. The first thing that's coming up is the Debate Talk for You basketball fundraiser. That's going to be in Brooklyn. That's going to happen late May. And I appreciate you guys for showing your support on that. We're going to have the Debate Talk for You live studio audience debate. That's going to be happening in late August at the National Black Theater. Hopefully, if everything goes well, we're going to need your support with the donations, guys. So even if you can send $1 each, all of that will just go towards everything that we got going on. And we have thousands of listeners all across the globe. So even if it's 50 cents, $1, all of that stuff will go towards these projects that we have happening this year for the Debate Talk for You. All right, let me introduce my special guest. My special guest, once again, the channel is Occult Sin on YouTube. That's Occult Sin. Like I said, I highly recommend that you guys go to his channel and check it out. He has a lot of powerful videos. This is ShaughanParson. How you doing, my brother? Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I appreciate you, man. Welcome to Debate Talk for You. Let the people know a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing your videos and stuff like that.
Well, I started about 2.5 years ago making videos personally. I've been awake, as you can say, for at least 11, probably 12 years, okay? I started the channel because I wanted to educate people, but not just that. There's so much corruption and hidden messages, agendas in the world that I didn't want to just sit back and let it go on while I just sit idly behind, pretty much take action, if you will. So that's pretty much how I started the channel, and I'm going to keep pushing for it and keep trying to wake people up. That's my goal.
All right. And what was it that exactly opened up your eyes to the truth? Did something happen to you? Did you go through some kind of event? You know, let people know, like, how did you come across this truth?
Well, when I was younger, like in just hitting middle school, probably elementary school, I never really liked the wars. You know, the wars we always had in this country. And as a child, I used to, scare me and all that stuff. I used to wonder when they were going to end the wars, because I noticed we kept going in wars year after year after year, and it never ended. So I started to look into the government, and of course I've always been interested in the esoteric, if you will, the stuff that's pretty much out there, the eccentric stuff. So I just did research. I like learning, so I learned all types of fields that I can, and it just built up knowledge, and I'm here where I am today.
Okay. And for those people that are calling in, I see we got more and more callers calling in right now. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The title of the show is called Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. And, of course, feel free to call in if you have any questions or comments. The number is 646-716-7320. If you have any questions or comments, or you guys can press number 1, and I'll gladly add you to the conversation. Now, for those people that are not aware of this, but they're listening to the show, break down for the listening audience, what is the occult? What is the occult?
Well, when you get into the word occult itself, it means various things, but one of its definitions is the hidden. So anything that's not pretty much perceptible to the people who aren't looking for it, that's the occult. But you also can say that the occult is the dark arts, if you will, also, because they have occult, witchcraft, occult, satanic, or cults, So pretty much it could be referred to as whatever's hidden and whatever is in the dark, pretty much the more evil sides of morality, if you will.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty basic once you get the concept of it.
Yeah. Now, many people are unaware about the hidden messages behind the music and stuff like that. How do we recognize the signs? Well, the show is called Celebrity Agenda. Some people say that a lot of these singers that have things going on behind the scenes. Let the people know, how can we recognize the signs of some of these hidden agendas?
Well, the first thing you should do is do some research on why they would even do this. Okay, music is a huge tool, and millions of people around the world love music. Okay, they have fans. Each celebrity, so I say, has fans, and they have millions of them. So somewhere down the line, the people who own these music industries figured out that it was a good idea to use the celebrities as tools, if you will, to push their agendas. Now, if you want to recognize the signs, you should look up a dictionary of symbols. Start researching symbols, because you have to understand symbolism in order to see and understand what something means in the first place. In the music videos, you'll see a lot of pyramids. When they're throwing up, with their hands, the diamond. If you know Jay-Z, you see him do it all the time. That's pretty much them trying to pay respect to the people they worship, or at least are owned by, and that's the Illuminati. But the Illuminati is very deep when it comes to that. A lot of people think it doesn't exist, but it really does. It has a history and everything. It's not even a conspiracy. It's straight up historical facts. That they tell you in the history books that in 1776 the Illuminati infiltrated Freemasonry, and they just grew from there.
Wow.
You have to do your research.
Wow, that's some heavy stuff right there. Because, a lot of people, when you bring this stuff to people around your way, or, people that you personally interact with, what do they say about that stuff when you actually reveal this kind of information to the people?
Well, some people get it. Some people see it. So I don't have to convince them that much, because they already have it. They can feel it. People are, if they open their eyes, they can perceive anything. Some people already see it, and they can pretty much, they had a feeling that it was happening, and then when you tell them about it, it starts to make sense to them, and then they start looking at it. But unfortunately, a lot of people are closed-minded, their eyes are shut, and they don't want to see the truth. Maybe because they just don't believe it. It seems too far-fetched, or maybe because they're scared of it and afraid. But remember, you don't have to fear anything. Just because these people have power doesn't mean that they're better than you or can, defeat you spiritually. Okay, so I don't see why people don't believe a lot of this stuff when it's right in your face. Even if you don't believe in Illuminati, you see these music videos, they're completely dark. A lot of immoral things, sex, drugs, violence, always talking about negativity when it comes to the hip-hop especially. We all see it. The gangs, it's cool to sell drugs, all that stuff right there. I mean, you don't even need Illuminati in the picture to understand that something's wrong with this music industry.
All right. Once again, guys, you're now listening to the Big Talk for You. If you have any questions, you go to the number 646-716-7320. All you have to do is press that number 1, and I'll add you into the conversation. My special guest is ShaughanParson from Occult Sin. That's his channel on YouTube. The title of this show, Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. Now, could you name a few celebrities you believe are a part of the occult? Any people that you research that you know for a fact is a part of the occult?
Jay-Z for sure, Kanye West, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry. I mean, literally, it's seriously all mainstream artists who are pushing the same type of ignorance. If you see ignorance in their videos, they're usually in it or got initiated in it. It's not like they join it because, they want to be in it. Someone comes to them if they're making a lot of, money and they're real talented, they have a lot of fan base. Somebody comes to them and try to use them. And if they don't go with it, they're usually either pushed off to the side. We all seen the celebrities who, they make music, they're real talented, but they don't stay up there, if you will. And that's because they don't go with the plan. They have to do these rituals and stuff like that. Another person, of course, Lil Wayne. A lot of people, they like Lil Wayne and stuff, but it's clear as day if you pay attention to him. He does the symbolism. He has hats with the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence. That's what it's called. If you don't know what that is, that's the pyramid with the eye in the middle, or sometimes the eye over the top, depending on how they're using it. On top of that, you have, basically, like I said, any artist, but a lot of people in Cash Money, Lil Wayne's group, is in the Illuminati because they're under him. And the people you see in Cash Money who aren't getting as much airtime, is not as famous, they're usually the ones who aren't really initiated all the way, if you will. They're still going through their steps trying to get big. And then you'll see them blow up out of nowhere. Y'all remember Soulja Boy? He got famous out of nowhere with that dance and stuff. Well, if you look on his back, he has 2 tattoos of the Illuminati symbol right on his back. It's clear as day. I mean, why did he get that for no reason? I mean, some people may say, a lot of people like to say, oh, he likes money, and that's why he got the Eye of Providence twice on his back. I mean, that makes no sense, seriously. I mean, for all that, he can get a $sign if he likes money.
Right, yeah.
Stop denying the facts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I was talking to a few brothers about this topic, and they were saying that not all the rappers, like you said, I guess you got to make a certain amount of money in order to be a part of the whole occult situation. Is that true, according to your research?
It's not just that you have to make a certain amount of money. It's most of the time, it's if you want to make a certain amount of money that you're going to be initiated to the whole Illuminati thing. Because pretty much it starts off like this. Maybe you got talent, and you get on air, whatever, TV, however you do it. And, you're going to be, get your 2 seconds of fame, if you will. But if you want to keep that going, they're not going to let you just keep going forever. They're going to come up to you, and they're going to say, you either do this, you act this way, and you push this music. Because if you look up the celebrities or the magicians and stuff, they don't write most of their music. This is a known fact. They have other people write most of their music. And this is why. Because these people who write the music behind the scenes are the ones who are pushing the agenda for the even higher ranks, the people who own the corporations pretty much like BET, MTV, VH1. So basically, it's not that you have to have money. It's that if you want to have money in that field, not in general, not in life, but in that entertainment business that they own, you're going to have to submit to them, or else you're just going to have to drop off the radar and not be famous anymore, or as famous.
Oh, wow. Once again, guys,
a perfect example of this. Perfect example of this is, have you heard of the rapper Papoose?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. New York.
Yeah, a great artist, right?
Yeah.
A great artist, and he's not even mainstream. He should be up there like number 3 on people's list of top rappers, at least. But he doesn't go with that stuff. He talks about that stuff. You can see him in interviews talking about that stuff, but he doesn't go with it. the whole Illuminati stuff. He says they exist, so he doesn't get to be as famous, you know? But he doesn't stand in their way and try to expose them. Pretty much Michael Jackson exposed them, and you know what happened to him. Sad story.
Yeah, we all know about that one. Wow.
Yeah, people try to deny it.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of, like you said, Papoose revealed a lot of things. A lot of other rappers are revealing a lot of things. But why do you think that a lot of young people are not getting it? You know, they're not even like, something they even debate with you about, like, oh, it's fake, it's not real. What do you say about that?
Yeah. Well, it's easy right there for that answer. They're pushing the music. You know, the people who they're listening to, they look up to them, and they're already influenced by them by now. By the time you come to them and tell them that Lil Wayne is the Illuminati and stuff, in the Illuminati, they've been listening to Lil Wayne for like 5-6 years. You know, some of them grow up as children. Their mothers and fathers let them listen to this stuff when they're like 6-8 years old because the parents listen to it. So they already are getting brainwashed. That's something that they do in the music. The music videos especially. You know, music videos can have a story to them, just like any type of video. A movie can have a story to it, it's factual or nonfiction. I mean, or pretty much it's fictitious. But anyway, yeah, they're getting brainwashed by that music, and the music is turning subliminals to the point where, oh, this Illuminati thing is just a joke. It's not real. You know, don't believe that stuff. It's trying to go against the reality of what it is today, that the Illuminati does exist. And something I want to add, though, when a hip-hop artist is in the Illuminati, quote-unquote, it's not that they're part of the Illuminati secret society as much as they're being used as pawns by the Illuminati, okay? I just want people to know that right now because a lot of people get confused by that.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, powerful information. Once again, guys, this is Debate Talk for You Radio. The title of the show, Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. The number is 646-716-7320. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to call in. It's person number 1, and I'll add you into the conversation. My special guest is ShaughanParson. Now, this next question I have for you, man, kind of disturbed me, and I'm starting to believe that it's true, though. But I'm going to ask you anyway, man.
Yeah.
What about these professional athletes, like basketball players, NFL stars, you know, the athletes of the world?
Yeah.
Are they down with the occult?
Certain ones, yeah. It's not as heavy as the music agenda because they can't push the agenda as, you know, as well because the music, it has messages, like I said, not only in the lyrics, and in the instrumentals, but as well as the music videos. But a lot of celebrities who are basketball players, some not as much as the football players. I can't even name too many football players. But definitely the NBA has people under that Illuminati whole goal, like LeBron James. I mean, that's as clear as day. If you really pay attention to LeBron James, it's super clear. He hangs around Jay-Z like they're brothers, okay? He's still putting up the diamond, just like Jay-Z. For no reason. He has nothing to do with Rockefeller for real, so it doesn't make sense for him. You notice that when he got around Jay-Z, if you pay attention, you start to look back, that's when he started to you know, putting up the diamond as much. And he started to really go up. He was always a good player and stuff. He was always famous, if you will. But when he got around Jay-Z, that's when everything started to change. That's when he won his ring and all that stuff. You know? So,
that's my team right there.
Yeah, you got to look for it.
Team, man. It's my team right there, Miami Heat, man.
Yeah, but still, you got to look for it.
True, brother. Some people say Kobe Bryant, too. Some people say Kobe Bryant, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Oh, man. Also, as far as the NFL, some people say as far as, like when certain players score touchdowns, they do certain hand gestures or hand symbols or hand signs or whatever. And do you think all of them are aware, like when they do certain hand symbols and stuff like that they're part of the occult or something like that? But I was saying that there's a lot of people that copycat a lot of these things that people do.
Yeah.
Like they put little signs, you know, devil signs, whatever. Yeah, what do you say about that?
Well, I don't watch too much football, but I do know one thing. Some people do, you know, some people do the hand signs naturally, you know, like the what people would call the 666 sign. You know, some people see that as okay, you know, the okay sign.
Right.
You know, and it does mean that to a certain extent. So some people may put it up in their pictures. Some people may put up what people call the devil horn sign. And some people may do it because they want to be in the Illuminati, but they haven't come to them yet. And they hear about their friends, their celebrity friends, the other celebrities, hear about it, and they may want to join it because they think it's fun and games. Oh, you just make more money. It's just as simple as that, when it's not. So they may be doing it trying to get attention, because that's one way how they try to get themselves put into it. But some of them may be part of it, and they're down with it and all that stuff like that. So when you see the hand symbols, it's best to, know the background of the person doing it. Because if it's just someone and he's talking about, he's going against it pretty much, all the agendas, if he's not, promoting ignorance, if you will, and he's not doing immoral things and he puts up the hand sign, maybe it was just a reflex of his hand. But if he's down with all that stuff and you see who he's hanging with and the other people he's hanging with is definitely in the Illuminati, he's most likely trying to be with it or he's in it as well.
Wow, once again, guys, listening to Debate Talk for You. My man ShaughanParson breaking down that knowledge out here. The number is 646-716-7320. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to press the number 1. I see we got a lot of listeners tuning into the show. I appreciate you guys for checking out Debate Talk for You. And we have some more questions coming up. Now, what about religion? I know you got some things about religion on your channel that you're kicking against. Now, is there a hidden agenda? Is there a hidden agenda when it comes to religious denominations? Is that down?
Yeah. See, the reason, if you ever go to my channel, I just want to put a disclaimer right now, okay? If you're a Christian or if you're, really tied down to a certain belief, at first glance, you're not going to like what I say because it's going to go against what you've been told, okay? And if you've been told that for several years or all your life, you've been a Christian or a Muslim or one of these major religions, a Jew, you're not going to like it. I'm not bashing you. I don't think you're evil or anything like that. But what I'm saying here is that the people who own the major churches and can control a heavy, selection of the churches around the nations, they have their agendas, and they're up there doing immoral things, and it's for control. Okay, there's two types of religious groups, if you will. There's those who think they're spiritual in a good, aligned way, and they, they do moral things. They live better lives because of it, yes. But at the same time, they're being controlled. They just don't know it by the churches. And there's those who do the dark arts and who, they like things like Lucifer, the Luciferians. They have Satanist cults, Scientologists, all types of stuff that people can clearly see are going down the wrong path and are on the dark side. But when it comes to these religions, a lot of them are manipulated and plagiarize other religions, okay? If you do history research, this is just a known fact, okay? I'm not stating my opinions. I want you to know that as well to all the listeners. I'm not, giving my 2 cents because I'm not this certain religion or I'm not that certain religion. I'm just telling you the history of it, okay? Especially Christians. I know a lot of people, I have family members, I have friends who are Christians, and they don't believe a lot of stuff I say when I try to warn them of it. But even worse, it'd be one thing if they at least look it up and do research and then start to see all the historical facts on it and where these religions even come from. But a lot of them don't even do that because they don't want to believe it. They don't want to see the truth, and they'll just look to the Bible. You can't look to the thing in question for the evidence, okay? You just can't do that. When someone goes up on a court trial, he can't say that he didn't do it, and that's the proof. And now he's innocent. He's free to go. No. Evidence will be placed against him, all that stuff. People will start testifying if they witnessed it. You have to look into outside sources. So if you want me to talk about, like, where a lot of these religions come from, we can go into that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, jump right into that. Go ahead.
Okay, well, Christianity, okay, there's 2 types of Christianity. And I say this because there's those who believe certain things in Christianity and they don't understand what they're talking about and they're reading it too serious. I want you to know that a lot of the books in the Bible are poems as well. So, you shouldn't take them as something that's going to happen or has happened because they're literally poems. I just want people to know that. And some people misinterpret things because of translation. The Bible wasn't written in English some people think that. Some people really don't even take the time to even think too heavy on the Bible. They just go along with the religion. They think, oh, yeah, it's English, even if it's a subconscious thing. The original Bible was the Hebrew Bible, okay? And the Old Testament was written by the Jews, which Christians will even tell you, okay? And the New Testament was not written by those same people, the Hebrews. It was written more or less by the Vatican, the westernized places like the Church of England. Okay, this is why the King James Version of the Bible, this is no coincidence that it's the most popular Bible to this day. That Bible was actually written for the Church of England. Okay, and the Church of England is controlled by the Vatican. We all know the Vatican controls Catholicism and the Catholics. And you see what happens when the Pope comes out. All the people just march around, cheering for him in the thousands while he drives through his little car like he's a celebrity. That's not religion. That's some type of celebrity idol worship. And it's even said that the Pope is to come, the reason there's even a Pope in the first place is because apparently, according to them, they need someone to stand in for God until Jesus comes back. And so right now, all the people are doing is they're acting just that way. They're looking at the Pope like he's a god, or at least they act like it, in my eyes. But when it comes to even further than that, I don't want to confuse people because it is a deep topic. But Christianity takes a lot of its stories and stuff from older religions. The Old Testament was taken by the Hebrews because the Hebrews came from the Phoenician Canaanites. Now, I'm pretty sure... well, I think you should know about this. You talk about a lot of debates on religion, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on it. Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah. So the Phoenician Canaanites, it's not that they stole it in a negative way, the Old Testament, should I say, because the Phoenician Canaanites wrote their little, their stories. They had gods like El and gods like Yova, as it's called today, and stuff like that. But the Hebrews, it's not like they took it out of spite or something like that just to steal their religions. The Hebrews came, it was a tribe, they came from the Phoenician Canaanites, and they started to make their own stories and stuff, because a lot of the stuff in the Bible is metaphorical. I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with that, even diehard Christians. A lot of stuff is metaphorical. So they told their stories and stuff that has happened to them through those books. Okay? If you want to learn the truth, the easiest way to, do research, because you're going to have to look this up. I can talk all day, but until you look it up and start to confirm it, you're not going to understand. Just do some research on the Phoenician Canaanites. And before you ask, know the Canaanites did not come from Canaan, okay? That's something in the Bible that confuses a lot of people. The Phoenician Canaanites were thousands of years before them, the Hebrews, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I could talk more into it, but if I just keep going, because I'm just keep going down different branches, it's just going to confuse people. But I can tell you one thing. Let me just list a couple words for you to research. Sumerians, okay? Research the Sumerians. Research the Phoenician Canaanites, like I already said. And research the Akkadic religions and mythologies. And, of course, the Egyptians.
All right, once again, guys,
that's all I want to say about that.
The Big Talk for You, Baby Season 4, the title of the show, Celebrity Agenda in the Occult. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, my special guest is ShaughanParson. The number is 646-716-7320. That's 646-716-7320. Now, I definitely agree that there's a lot of dogma when it comes to a lot of the religious denominations out there. There's a lot of, like the Pope and a lot of things you mentioned. I'm definitely with you on that. But as far as you're concerned, like all the knowledge you have as far as the occult, don't you believe that there's a spiritual element to some of these things that some of these celebrities are going? Yeah, break that down for the people.
Wait a minute, you said the spiritual element for the celebrities, like the Illuminati part?
Yeah, the Illuminati part. There's a spiritual element to it that certain things that they're doing, and there's a spiritual element to it. So there's got to be good and evil as far as the good spiritual side, and there's the evil spiritual side. First of all, is there go ahead.
No, go ahead.
As far as there's good and evil. So, what's your take as far as the good side of the spirituality? Because like you said, there's a lot of different dogma when it comes to Christianity, the Muslims, and all of that stuff. Do you follow any spiritual backgrounds or anything that you do?
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people always confuse me with an atheist because I simply don't believe in those three religions, which is kind of ignorant. It shows how the world is single-minded. Because if you walk up to a Christian and say, I don't believe in your religion, apparently you're automatically deemed an atheist as if Christianity is the only thing that exists or something. I do believe in good and evil because even humans, we as a society can be good or evil. So especially in the spiritual realm, I do believe in a God, a creator. There has to be good or evil. There has to be even more than we can even perceive in this realm, okay? But what I don't believe is that whole, you have to believe in select your savior, pretty much, or else you're going to heaven or hell. I don't believe in that because I know where these stories come from, and the hell, all that stuff started in the New Testament. If you understand the difference between Sheol and hell. But anyway, I do believe in a spiritual being, a higher being, if you will. And I don't know, I don't have no name for this being because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who the original creator of us is. I just know that we are created from something more spiritual, something more better than we could ever be right now. Something that pretty much the mother/father of our race, humans, okay? That's something I know for sure. We didn't just come out of nowhere. We didn't come from bacteria. We didn't evolve from monkeys and all this stuff like they keep telling you. It's funny what Cat Williams said. I believe it was him. He said, all the other monkeys were they just retarded and forgot to evolve or something. It's very, it's kind of messed up how they write these history books. The people, the schools and stuff, and people are forced to read this, and they have to accept it. And how do they make them accept it? Well, if you don't, write what they tell you in the class test of the history books, you get an E. So you have to learn it and write it and admit that it's true subconsciously, and then people believe that stuff. I do believe in God, but I don't have a faith or a religion. I just believe in a higher being that's spiritually good. I do believe in good and evil spirits, though. And I think Satan is just a word that the Christians gave to the ultimate evil, Meaning great, the adversary, the great obstructor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, definitely a powerful segment of Debate Talk for you, ShaughanParson, bringing that knowledge out there. Once again, the number, 646-716-7320. You have any questions or comments, just press the number 1, and I'll add you into the conversation. What about, the government? A lot of people say that's, people think you crazy sometimes when you talk about the government conspiracies and things of that nature. Is there like a government agenda out there? Break it down. Give an example of that.
For sure. Well, we all know that the government seems to love war. That's not even a debate. I don't care what you say. It's not a debate. That's a fact. They still are in war to this day. They're trying to go to more wars. You see them always debating with nations. What gets me is, how do we even get into these debates with nations when we're separated by thousands of miles of bodies of water in some cases? They up here arguing, a few months ago with North Korea and all that stuff. How are we even debating North Korea? How is North Korea even debating us? Like, we are on two different continents. What do we have to do with each other? Why are we trying to fight each other? And it's not even me or you or anyone else down the street who's trying to fight North Korea. It's the government, the people in power. No one on 2001, nobody wanted to go down to war. Afghanistan, all that stuff, Iraq, nobody wanted that. The people in power, the politicians, the president, they did that. We didn't do that. But that's the thing. All the people, the American people, they just let the government do their agenda. Their agenda is to, take over nations. It's as clear as day. They want to annex everything. And that's why they have, to this day, they have military all over the world. Name your place, they got military there, more or less. So that's just a dead giveaway that, and what makes it even funnier, it's not even funny, but just more obvious, is that every time they go to a war with somebody, notice how after they just finish killing them, they end up occupying the place, and now they have military, U.S. military down there, patrolling and keeping everybody safe, quote unquote. How is that even possible? How does that work? But when it comes to the agenda for the government, it's also a dark agenda. They want a new world order, okay? If you don't believe in a new world order, that's because you're not looking into the facts. It's not even a hidden agenda. It's so out in the open, it's not funny, okay? They want the United Nations, this is why they made the United Nations, to have every nation under its thraldom, its control, okay? To this day, they're still working on every other place. You see what they're doing to these African nations and stuff like that, and places in the Middle East. That's because they're not going with the plans. And when they control everything, they get to tax everybody. They get to control your life, pretty much. Think of some Nazi stuff, because not fear-mongering, but that's how it is. Right now it's going to convert Nazism. You have them taxing you unconstitutionally. You have them telling you what you can and can't do, you know. They're making up laws as they please and regulations and to limit you, to limit your life, okay? And they have some type of misunderstanding. I think, you know, most of the government is crazy for real, because, you know, they believe in this Lucifer stuff, and they believe in, satanic rituals. But it's not just that. They Babylonian type stuff. They take a lot of stuff from, the African nations and make it, dark. They try to make it appear dark. Because if you notice, Illuminati, their symbol is still the pyramid. But you know that, well, if you look past the hip-hop part of the Illuminati, you know that the people who really run Illuminati, who are the same people who control the government, that's why I'm mentioning this, they are usually white people. Nothing against white people, of course. You know, the average man walking down the street, average woman, no problems. But the people who are trying to control the world, we all see it. The politicians, the majority of them are white, corrupt. That's just the way it is. I'm not sugarcoating it. And, so why do they have Egyptian pyramids as their symbol to this day? Why? Seriously. They didn't build the pyramids. They know they didn't build the pyramids. They're trying to turn it evil. And they want to take all the knowledge that the African nations had, that they keep telling people, oh, Africa never was developed, or African Americans, if you will, never had cultures before they came to America. That's BS. That's a lie.
Wow.
Huge lie.
A lot of information.
Yeah, it is. You have to do some serious research. I'm not talking about 2 hours of research. I'm talking about a couple months, a couple years of research.
Yeah, once again,
it's
guys,
incorporated into your life.
Video. It's Debate Talk for you guys. The number is 646-716-7320. Now, I'm pretty sure you saw this on YouTube or on the news or whatever. Well, really YouTube about the snow, the fake snow thing and all that. What do you think? Let's add that to the conspiracy theory. What's your take on that?
Yeah. See, people will call me crazy for that one, because that is an out there video, and I can't prove it as heavy as I can prove all these other things with pictures and showing you them doing their rituals and all that stuff, because this is something, the weather. People always, you know about chemtrails, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Chemtrails in the sky, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know about the chemtrails.
Yeah, well, the chemtrails they're real, okay? It doesn't matter if people don't believe them. Now, the same people, because I always get flacked and, people bashing about chemtrails. Oh, no, those is clouds. Oh, those is contrails. I mean, these are the same people talking about the snow isn't supposed to melt.
Yeah.
They forgot what the clouds look like. I don't want to hear what they have to say. I don't care what they have to say. They can come in the thousands calling me crazy. They don't even know what clouds look like anymore. So I can't get mad over that. But, as for the nanobots and stuff I said, nanofibers, if you will, which is confirmed if you do research on chemtrails and all the stuff in it, the barium, the aluminum, the oxidized rust and all that stuff. In it has nanoparticulates, nanofibers. And a lady who, I can't remember her YouTube channel, she had a scientist friend in Canada who she sent a sample to and stuff like that. She has a microscope and stuff. And she filmed this stuff. It's on my fake snow playlist. You can scan through and try to find a video, but I can't remember her title, but it is on my channel. And she was showing these little things cloning themselves. She called them 3D microscopic printers because they kept cloning themselves. But what that really is nanotechnology. People think that's not possible or something when it's, it's a science. It's real. You just look it up. It's there. It's not even hidden. They're just not telling you they're using it for this corruption and all this stuff. Because they can modify the weather, people. It may sound crazy, but they can modify the weather.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know about the HARP.
Yeah, as well.
Right. Yeah.
They use that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a question here in the chat room right quick. Let me read out this question to you. It says, what about the brothers that become famous by selling out to the occult before they become into the truth? What's the best thing for them to do?
Well, it's a good question. People, when they sell out because they don't know, which I don't see why they can't really understand that no one's going to give you this money for free, and there's definitely something dark behind it. They look up to other celebrities. They should have seen it, but they had their eyes closed. Unfortunate for them, but when they wake up, all they have to do is just get out of there, okay? They're even going to have to fight for their life or just drop out, the simple way, lose all their fame and money and go back to the daily work life, or they're going to have to, really try to get the word out to protect themselves. You've seen Cat Williams. I don't understand why people still debate with me how the Illuminati is real when Cat Williams is going through that right now. And you can find him. You can find videos and interviews of him talking about the Illuminati, mentioning the word Illuminati for all the people who think he didn't actually say it. He's talking literally about it. It's clear as day. That the Illuminati will, sting people, as he put it. They had to sting him 1,000,000 times, so he learned a lesson. And now he's not going to do that anymore, but he's not going to join them. Dave Chappelle talked about this stuff. It's clear as day, people. Just look it up. And I know how many people love Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams. I don't see how any of y'all are going to make excuses about this. Your favorite famous celebrities are right there on TV, on interviews, talking about this stuff.
Now, what about the youth that's listening to the hip-hop music out there? We have a lot of people that listen to hip-hop. Do you think people should, being that there's a certain kind of a spiritual element to it, do you think we should listen to hip-hop today, or we shouldn't listen to it? What's your take on that as far as listening to the music out there?
Well, I listen to hip-hop, but I listen to, artists like Papoose, King Los. I listen to people who aren't giving all negativity. They're actually using their mind and talking about relevant things and aren't with this whole Illuminati agenda. If you listening to Gucci Mane or Waka Flocka, seriously, talking about drugs and gangs and how tough they are when they clearly are making millions of dollars living in mansions. Come on now. It's a whole illusion. Stop listening to that stuff. It's not fun. It's not tight to be a gangster or drug dealer, all that stuff, and everybody knows it, so stop trying to pretend that it is. If they're talking about that stuff, I don't care if they're your favorite artist, drop them. You'd be surprised. 7 years ago, I probably was listening to Lil Wayne, but when I started to see how evil he is, dropped him. Not even on my iPod anymore. I'm not going to listen to them brainwash me over and over, trying to get me to be a drug dealer or a criminal or something while they make millions of dollars. Living in mansions, showing you cribs of how many cars they got. Seriously? You think that, why would you even be a gangster anymore if you making millions of dollars? Get real. Come on, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you tell those parents out there, though, that got those teenagers, every time they come home, they watch these videos and, you already hip-hopped out already. Like, when you tell parents how to interact with the kids and tell them this truth that you're spreading about this music, how should they go about talking about the kids when it comes to this music?
Well, the parents, they should, they're their parents. They're the guardians. They should know how to handle that. So you got to sit your kid down and tell them the truth. And if they don't listen, you're going to have to make them listen. Seriously. You're going to have to, tell them not to listen to that stuff no more because you're not going to allow that type of agenda in your house.
My house.
And when they move out, they can do what they want. If they want to brainwash themselves and still think that being a gangster is cool and all that stuff, then unfortunately you got to let them do that when they're past 18 and they move out. But when you're living where you're living and they're living under you, you get to control that. But don't just turn it off and be like, you ain't listening to this no more just because. Try to tell them why they're not listening to it. Try to show them all the signs and symbolism and all the darkness in the music. It should be plain as day.
Yeah, now, did you, you know about Nicki Minaj, of course. Did you hear her new song?
Yeah.
Look, N-Word?
Which one?
It's called Look, the N-Word song. I don't know if you heard that one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it on the YouTube page, but of course, I just try to look past it. I didn't even try to watch it, man. Because she already made that song, stupid, ho. So it's like, she's obviously trying to put out negativity. That song, the first one she made was so stupid, and yet people were listening to it like it was the hottest thing ever, getting brainwashed every time they replayed it. Basically, I didn't hear the song she made, the new one, but I did see that Katy Perry song, Dark Horse, where she was, all the Illuminati symbolism. I mean, the whole video is literally just Illuminati. I mean, it's an Egyptian theme, so they just put it everywhere. It's not even trying to hide it. Yeah, they're going to keep pushing their agenda as long as people keep listening to it. And unfortunately, you can't wake up everybody, and people are going to have to learn the hard way. The good thing is that most of these people who listen to it, it may take 7 years, but most of them start to realize how stupid it is, and then they start to realize how, dark it is. So they wake up after a while, most of the time. Not all the time, but unfortunately, some people got to wake up all late. Nicki Minaj is just fake. She's promoting fakeness to all the females. You see all these females trying to act like Nicki Minaj, when Nicki Minaj doesn't even try to hide that she's fake. Wearing wigs every time, fake implants everywhere, bleaching her skin. If you look at Nicki Minaj before and after, she has to be at least 7 shades lighter. I mean, seriously, it's something that you don't even notice over time because it happens so slow. But she used to be dark skin, or at least brown skin. Now she's really, really light skin. Bleaching her skin. Trying to make black girls look ugly or something. I don't know. But it's self-hate. It's teaching females how to be fake. And how it's teaching men as well how to go after fake girls. Be ratchet, if you will, as they call it.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, guys, you're listening to the Big Talk Radio. The number is 646-716-7320. The title of the show, Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. Our special guest is ShaughanParson. Actually, if you go to the description box, I have all his channels, his YouTube channels, his Facebook page, and all of that stuff in the description box. So, guys, if you want to keep in touch with ShaughanParson, you can just definitely go to the description box at www.blogtalkradio.com/TheBigTalkForYou. Send them an inbox message. Let me know what you thought about this show. And if you have any further questions, of course, about this particular topic, you can reach out to the brother. Now, what do you say to these young, cats? Because a lot of people look up to these rappers and singers and athletes, stuff like that. Yeah. And you may have somebody young that's trying to be in the game. Of course, they want fame. Some people just want to get out of the situation. They might be not have enough money or whatever, so they feel like that's the avenue to go to in order to get out the hood or whatnot. What do you tell young people when it comes to that?
Well, a lot of people actually ask me that already on my videos, and I tell them that you can follow your passion if it's music. You don't have to stop. What I'm saying here is that you have to be an entrepreneur artist, if you will. You're gonna have to sell, set up your own network of selling your music, your albums and stuff, because you're not really gonna make it mainstream. I'm not gonna lie to you. You may be able to get on TV and be on your papoose, if you call it that, but for real, you're going to have to do it the entrepreneur way, which you still can be successful. There's DJs who aren't mainstream. They make thousands of dollars a week, So it's not like you have to have the little spot, but you're not going to be a millionaire, making millions a year at least anyway, because you're going to have to sell out. You're just going to face it. You got to do it on your own, entrepreneur style. You still can make your music. You still can sell it. The only way not to, you don't have to be on TV to be famous. You don't have to be on if that's what you're desiring. But trust me, all the artists can tell you that it's not even such a fun thing to be famous. You have paparazzi following you everywhere. You see how they be getting pissed off. Even Kanye West, who's in the Illuminati, he be attacking paparazzi because he be pissed off at that. It's not even what it looks to be. You have people following you everywhere. You can't go anywhere, anywhere for real without somebody, coming at you asking for an autograph, which may be fun at first, but trust me, probably go get annoying if you want privacy. And then, you're going to have haters, so they always go be on your case. You got to handle all these people. You'd be surprised how many celebrities get into fights. Yeah, man, you can see it. They have YouTube videos, celebrities getting in fights because people are always hating on them, and it's easy to find, or at least spot in public. People try to test their luck and try to say, oh, yeah, look, I knocked out whoever, 50 Cent. They try to, they go after celebrities trying to look tough. Because these fake gangsters and stuff, the same people who getting brainwashed to be fake gangsters, a lot of these people who rapping come after them. And that's another thing. If you talking about all that blood and Crip stuff, like Lil Wayne, you can see it. You can see the real Bloods and Crips attacking him, on videos and stuff like that. Rick Ross get called out by Crips and all stuff like that. So the people who really doing it, who I don't condone and stuff like that, but they go come after them. You putting out this fake stuff, and they know who's really real. So it's not even good to be fake. Don't be fake just because you want to be famous. Just do your music, do you, and just try to make the money you can.
So you would definitely steer them to do it independently instead of going mainstream, more or less.
Yeah, do independent.
Mm-hmm.
Start your own stuff.
A lot of these, youngins want that fame, though. They be on television. They want the world to know who they are.
Yeah, but they got
fortune. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm telling you, you're not going to like fame as much as you think. You're not going to like it. Like, it's going to be a temporary thing where you may like it, but you're going to have to get over your ego and what have you, because, you're not going to be the center of the world no matter how famous you are. Maybe that's not your goal, but seriously, as long as you got people who thank you and appreciate your music, you're going to have to take that and be grateful for it. At least people know who you are. You don't need to be on every TV station ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying to them.
Right. All right. Once again, guys, you're listening to the Big Talk Free Radio. We got a few more questions before we sign off. But if you have any questions or any comments, or maybe you guys might be trying to be an aspiring rapper or something like that, and you have any questions or singer, call in. The number is 646-716-7320. Just press the number 1, and I'll add you in the conversation. My special guest is ShaughanParson. We got a lot of people checking out the show right about now. I appreciate the thousands upon thousands that's checking the show out all over the world. Appreciate you guys tuning into Debate Talk for you. Now, as far as selling your soul, I spoke to a couple people that actually trying to pursue the rap game, and they're trying to be, whatever they're trying to be. And I spoke to them about, selling their soul. And first of all, they say they believe in God. I believe in God. Nothing going to happen. Ain't nothing going to happen. I believe in God, and as far as selling my soul, they don't see how that's even possible. How are they selling their soul? Can you break that down for the people?
Well, first of all, if you pay attention to this hip-hop, you see how many artists who are in the Illuminati, or at least at minimalist, talk about ignorant stuff, gangsters killing other people, all that stuff, right? You see the same people talking about that wearing Jesus chains. I mean, sometimes they wear 2 Jesus chains. It's like they're trying to pretend so hard that they believe in what you believe in so they can fit in or at least get your liking. These people, first, when you're trying to make it big, they're not going to make you sell your soul, okay? They're going to make you sell out, meaning you're going to have to do what they say. Okay, you got to do their rituals and stuff. Then it starts to get darker and deeper. The more fame you get, if you want to keep that fame up, you're going to have to sell out even more and sell out even more. Listen to Eminem. He says in several of his songs he sold his soul to the devil. Kanye West on live stage when he was performing said he sold his soul to the devil. It was a crappy deal. He literally said that. He said he said his mother died for this, which he was alluding. His mother was killed, sacrificed, because they give a lot of sacrifices as well. But like I said, there is good and evil spirits. And I believe if you, just like if you go into a contract with a person and they can put you in legal situations and tell you what to do because you signed that contract, I think the same thing could happen if you do some type of dark, satanic, or Wicca ritual, some type of spiritual ritual. I do think there's evil forces. Like I said, I do think there's evil forces. I just think that Satan and all the other religions have their own particular name for what they believe evil to be. I just know that there's evil in general. But anyway, if you sell up to a demon or whatever it may be. A demon is just a word that humans use to explain something evil, an evil spirit. And then I believe that they can gain possession of you, because you're selling out. You're allowing them to. You're doing some type of dark ritual that's tapping into other forces. So, yeah, I do think if you sell your soul, you're going to sell your soul, pretty much. You're giving it to something else, something darker in a different realm.
Right.
Because if you look at the religions, just the opposite. Christians, if they pray, they have people in the Christian faith, they say they get answers from, God and stuff like that. Same thing could be said about Muslims. Muslims say that God answers them. Buddhists, they say they get spiritual enlightenment and answers from their God when they pray. The Jews say the same thing. No matter what religion you go to, when they pray to something good, and if it's all-knowing, no matter what religion you are, it's probably going to know that you're asking for divine help. It's going to give it to you. So it doesn't matter what religion you're in. All these religions, on the good side, are saying that they're getting answers and their prayers are being responded to. Well, on the dark side, I think the same thing's going to happen. If you give your energy, you start to summon some type of demon, and you're doing it correct with these dark techniques that the Illuminati is giving you, and they're going to do the ritual for you. They're going to have you in some type of situation where they're surrounding you, doing some type of dark art, sacrificing things, because they do sacrifice people, shedding blood and calling demons and selling your soul, pretty much giving you up to whatever they're trying to feed to give them power.
Yeah, wow, it's a lot of information, my brother. What about producers? You think producers in the game on that with like Swiss Beats and Timberland and a lot of these brothers? You think they pretty much are down with that cult as well? Producers.
I'm not gonna say all of them.
But some people say, okay, rap, okay, I'm not going to do rap, but I want this to be a producer then. I'll be safe, but I'll do the producer thing. What do you think about that?
I'm not going to say all producers are down with it, because just like all hip-hop artists, they're not all down with it. Even if they're just a little famous, they don't have to be down with it. It's when you see the symbolism that it becomes quite obvious that they're starting to go towards the dark side. But yeah, a lot of these producers are probably down with it because they're even bigger than the hip-hop artists. Many people don't really realize that, but they're making more money than them because they're making the songs for several of them, and all of them have millions of dollars. So if you're making songs for Lil Wayne, he's paying you. You're making songs for Drake, and he's paying you. You're making songs for Tyga, he's paying you. You have all these millionaires paying you. You're going to make even more money. You're dealing with all these artists, but at the same time, you're dealing with all these dark artists. So, of course, you're going to have to be dark as them to fit in, So I think that, yeah, a lot of them probably do sell out. Has to be. Because they're even famous. They're even more, richer, should I say, than these people.
Yeah, I got somebody in the chat room, Wiser Words. What's going on, Wiser Words? And actually, they want to talk more about the chemtrails. And so I never heard so many planes flying in the day here lately, creating pollution up in the sky and leaving tic-tac-toe trails and always trying to block out the sun and seeing blue skies. What else you got to say about the chemtrails?
Well, at least you notice it. Some people just go blindly about their day. Some people don't even look up, which I don't understand because I don't even have to look up to see the sky. When I'm walking straight ahead, my face is facing straight, I can see the sky in my peripheral. So I don't understand how these people don't see this. But, yeah, chemtrails are blocking out the sun. They're trying to do, quote-unquote, this is what they tell you when they admit it. Because sometimes they'll say it don't exist. And then when they get caught, they'll say, oh, it's for global warming, which is BS, of course. Because, we have all these winter storms right now on the East Coast. You see where this is going. Basically, they're putting a lot of chemicals into these chemtrails. And billionaires paying for it, obviously. I mean, these people are getting paid to spray this. First of all, they're pilots, so they're automatically getting paid a lot of money. Then you got to make all the chemtrails, however they're making it, whatever factories they're doing, they're paying the people. Then they're paying it, the ship it to the planes. Then they're paying for the gas for the planes. And if you know anything about airplanes or helicopters, it costs thousands of dollars just to fly those things for a couple hours. And I'm talking tens of thousands. So these are billionaires somewhere. Bill Gates actually said that he's in the chemtrail geoengineering pretty much funds. He has his hands in it, the shares and stuff. So Bill Gates, who a lot of people just associate with computers, is actually in this stuff. Okay, the Rothschilds, who is a banking family, they're in this stuff. They're paying for this stuff. And they're trying to poison people, make them sick. The same way they're trying to get you on pharmaceuticals, medicine. You know, they want you to be on medicine. But notice that all the medicine has negative side effects. I don't think I can name one medicine that they make in the pharmaceutical pharmacies that doesn't have a negative side effect. And then most of the time when you have to take it, say if you have back pains or if you have headaches, Tylenol, whatever, you have to keep taking it in order for it to work. That's not how medicine is supposed to work, y'all. It's supposed to be, you take it, okay, now it helps you, it cures you, it makes you better. You don't have to keep taking it every week, every month. If you're taking it every month, it's making you sick as well and countering out, just so you be healthy enough to think it's working.
Yeah.
They're putting chemicals in this all over stuff, making the soil. That's another thing. They're trying to dry out the soil. And if you know anything about farming, and you've been paying attention to the farmers are having a lot of problems right now trying to grow their crops. And that's because all the metals in the soil. And guess what? Here comes Monsanto, which is a big agriculture company who makes genetically modified seeds that can grow. And guess what? Guess what it can grow in? High soil, soil with high levels of aluminum, metal. Conveniently, how convenient that they come out of nowhere, and now the farmers have to buy seeds from Monsanto that are genetically modified and has poison built into the seed. So when the corn or whatever they're growing grows into its full plant, and they ship it to the store, that plant has poison in it, literally bug poison. It's not going to kill you instantly because then they'll get caught like that. But when you start having, kidney problems and you start getting these cancer, because a lot of them cause cancer, now you know why. Now you know where that's coming from, because it's a big agenda to ruin the plants. So Monsanto, their goal is literally agriculture domination. They want to run all the food through the country. They don't want anybody else to be self-sufficient. They don't want local farmers. They don't want organic food. That's why to this day you still see the government debating about, we don't want to allow GMO labeling on food. Well, why not? You put everything else on food. You put the calorie intake, you put the vitamins, you put the ingredients, but you won't let us know when it's genetically modified. That's because it's dangerous and it's going to kill you eventually over the years. So start eating organic food as well. Chemtrails and that's going to just make you sick. It's slow kill. It's designed to take a couple years, 5 years, 10 years. Then you start to feel it. As you get older, your immune system starts to break down. Then you start to feel it. If you have nose and sinus problems, and your nose burns when you're outside, that's why. Because I know sometimes I can even feel my nose burning. I don't have sinus problems, but when I'm outside, sometimes I can feel it. It pisses me off because I know what it is.
Yeah. Wow. Once again, a lot of powerful information. Once again, you're listening to the Big Talk View. The title of this show, Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. Our special guest is ShaughanParson. The number is 646-716-7320. You're now listening to the Big Talk View. I've got maybe one more question. Now, I know we kind of went over the 60-minute mark, but let's got one more question when it's pretty much sign off. Now, a lot of the celebrities, they say they got to do homosexual things in order to, stay in the loop of, the celebrity agenda out there. Do you believe that there's a lot of people like rappers out there? Like I heard that Method Man is homosexual. Certain rappers that you wouldn't believe are part of this homosexual lifestyle, are part of the homosexual lifestyle. What's your whole perspective on that homosexual lifestyle in the celebrity world?
Well, yeah, it does happen. I have a video on my channel. It was made by Black Child. People keep thinking that's me talking now. That's a user on YouTube called Black Child. He made that. I posted it because it's true stuff, okay? That does happen. It's part of the dark rituals that I'm talking about. They do this stuff for whatever reason. I don't know if it's some type of dark practice to give them power. I don't know if it's just because the people who run, the hip-hop industry, out of Hollywood, and they own BET and all the people at the top, who are usually white, by the way, you know, if y'all don't know this, the owner of BET is a white guy. I mean, just to show you how, you know, secretive that is. Black Entertainment Television is a white guy who owns it now. At first it wasn't. But anyway, and the MTV headquarters is a Masonic lodge. So, but anyway, yeah, these artists, a lot of them aren't gay, quote unquote. You know, it's that they have to do gay things. That's what I want people to realize, because I see people arguing and they be like, oh, well, he has a kid, or, you know, he has a wife. That doesn't mean anything, okay?
Right.
That doesn't mean anything. They still can, people are forgetting about bisexuals or something, but they can still be forced to do it. Maybe they don't like it, but if they want to keep going on in the music industry, it's there. Like even Dave Chappelle said, they try to make everybody wear a dress. He said it. And they was trying to make him wear a dress. And he even said that's why he moved to Africa and all that stuff and came back, all that, because he's trying to get away from it. So he's telling you this, and he's been in that industry around famous people and all that stuff. Cat Williams said it on the stand-up. This is why I don't like when people watch his stand-ups and they don't realize what he's saying most of the time is true. He's being funny, but at the same time, he's trying to tell you something. It's not just being funny for no reason talking about this. He's trying to tell you something. And when he said that, that's what got him in trouble the most, because he's really famous. And when a famous person really say this stuff, that's when they get in trouble, because they're not supposed to talk about it. It's part of the contract with the ritual. Cat Williams said that, you know, they had gay parties and stuff like that. He said this on the stand-up. That wasn't a joke. People laughing. I'm up there shaking my head like, you just don't understand what he talked about. I'm up there listening to this so I can hear the truth. They're up there laughing, but yeah, there is gay things that go on. Lil Wayne, all that stuff, Drake. And you can see some of the pictures and videos where these people are clearly, you know, on some other stuff, if you will. I mean, pictures of P. Diddy and stuff. When he up here hugging Nelly, he's hugging this random white guy. I don't know who that white guy was. But he's dancing behind him like a girl, grinding on him and stuff. Like, come on now, stop denying what's right in front of you. I know you like P. Diddy and you want to listen to his you know, people that he signed, that he always signed and then they disappear after a year, if you ever notice anything about that, because they're not supposed to be famous. He just pimps them out. He sells them out. He gets more people initiated in, and then they're gone. Danny D. Kane, Day 26, I believe. Where are they right now? You tell me, because they're not here.
Right.
But the whole show, you know, everybody watching it, now they're nowhere to be seen. And I can't remember that white guy that went solo. There was he was around Day 26. I can't remember his name. That's how gone he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear as day if you pay attention. P. Diddy's definitely out there with that homosexual stuff. I mean, watch the video when he's talking to dang, got his name already. The stand-up comedian, short guy.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. That slipped my mind. I don't know why. I know who Kevin Hart is, but for some reason that just completely left me. Anyway, he was talking to Kevin Hart, and he told Kevin Hart not to sit on his bed. And Kevin Hart was trying, you know, he was saying that he's not on that gay shit, pretty much. And sorry if I just cursed, sorry. But anyway, he's not on that gay stuff, basically. And therefore, it's an awkward moment. And you can see that it's definitely some type of behind-the-scenes thing going on. You know, some type of inside, not joke, but inside knowing, understanding that Kevin Hart was talking about with that whole situation, because, like I said, Diddy is one of the gayest people. You know, not bashing gays. You know, if you're gay, you're walking down the street, no problem with you, but seriously, they're using this for their agenda to feminize men and to depopulate the world as well, because if you have 50% of the nation gay, let's face it, 50% of the nation is going to start to depopulate because gay people can't have children, you know? Not trying to upset you, but seriously, that's the way it is. 2 females can have children with each other. 2 men can have children with each other. And if let's put it like this, to really snap y'all out, y'all, you know, your beliefs, if you think that someone's just hating on you. If 100% of the world was gay, humanity would just disappear within a couple of decades, because everyone would just die off. You can't procreate. Now think of it this way: if your parents were personally gay, for all the gay people out there, you wouldn't even be born right now. They couldn't have you. Face it, that's the way it is.
All right. ShaughanParson dropping that knowledge out there. Once again, the number is 646-716-7320. We're about to sign off in a few minutes actually, but if you have any quick questions or comments, person number one, and I'll add you in the conversation. Definitely a great, show, breaking down some information out there. A lot of people didn't know, as far as the occult and celebrity agendas out there. Any last words you want to share with the people out there before we sign off? And once again, I appreciate you coming on. And I'm pretty sure, once again, I recommend that you go to the channel, the Occult Sin. Once again, it's called Occult Sin. Make sure you check out his videos, and I have everything in the description box. But any last words you want to share with the masses out there? Go ahead.
Well, I'm a new guy, if you will. So, people not going to call in. They don't know me yet. But seriously, let's see. I just recommend all of y'all to do research. Seriously. Do not listen to anything anyone tells you unless you do research, including me, including anybody else, including your parents. I don't care. If they're telling you something that's going to be a belief that you have to follow for the rest of your life, do some research on it. And don't just research one page and be like, oh, yeah, I found the answer. No, you didn't. Research several pages, go to the library, read books, whatever. If you don't like reading, start like reading, because you're going to need it. Seriously. If you don't research what's in this world, you're not going to realize what's going on. Everything from banks to secret societies, the capital, Washington, D.C., United States versus America, how they're not even the same place. You're not going to understand what's going on unless you do research. Okay? And when you start researching, you start learning this stuff, it drives you to learn more stuff. It's not frustrating at first. It's frustrating at first. Maybe you don't want to read a lot of stuff, but after a while, you start to get pulled in because it's like, man, you want to learn the truth. You don't want to be ignorant no more because now you're learning how ignorant you was, and it pushes you to learn more. Okay? And for all the stuff going on, because there's a lot of stuff that may be depressing, and it may seem like it's all hopeless, don't fear anybody. Okay? They're a person, you're a person. Don't fear death, because if you really have faith, don't fear death, okay? Don't get brainwashed into that damned into hell forever, because that's what's going to cause a lot of fear. That's what many people fear more than death. They fear that hell, okay? And when you realize where these stories come from and who made it up and why they made it up, the Vatican and stuff, to control the people, then you can break away from that. You realize that spirits can't be harmed unless you're signing out to something even more powerful, a powerful spirit. That's why you don't do rituals and you don't do the satanic stuff or whatever. Because there's not only satanic arts. There's all types of evil stuff that has nothing to do with Satan, and yet it still produces evil. Okay? The Moloch start, the Bohemian Grove type stuff. When they're up here sacrificing children, I mean, they don't even talk about Satan. Satan has nothing to do with that, and yet it's still evil, okay? These are just names that humans are given to spirits that they are just titling. I want you to know that. Don't fear anything. Be strong, all that stuff. Keep doing you. Keep educating yourself. Don't fall for the lies. Start watching the news, because they're owned by the Rothschilds. Rothschilds have over $500 trillion. They own the news. They own the Associated Press. This isn't a conspiracy. This is facts. It's audit a couple of decades ago. Literally. That Israel stuff, after World War II, for all you people, the Israel little debate, yes, Israel is controlling America, not the other way around. The Rothschilds shipped thousands of Jews after World War II in the land of Palestine, when it was still called that, and changed the name to Israel. You probably didn't know a couple decades ago it was still called Palestine. If you didn't know that, start researching, because now you're falling for the lie already if you think it was always called Israel. It wasn't. Iran used to be called Persia. Iraq with Babylon, all that stuff. Start doing some research. All I got to tell you.
All right, once again, a lot of powerful information you putting out there. And for those people that are, never heard this information, but they've been enlightened by you, what's the first book that you recommend that they should pick up out there?
Any dictionary of symbols with pictures of the symbols and their meaning. Get that so you can learn symbolism. And then there's on Bill Cooper actually has a book. I always recommend this one because I don't want to recommend too many books because I think people should learn about the basics first, not just jump into the hard stuff. But Behold a Pale Horse. Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. He made this book, and he used to be in the military, agencies, so he has insight. In fact, he predicted 9/11. Unfortunately, he got killed 2 months later. But, yeah, he's a serious person. He used to talk about truth, all that stuff, and respect to him. So read that book, and on top of that, I recommend just reading symbolism. Don't overlook the dictionary of symbolism. You're going to need to understand what these symbols mean so you can see what's all around you. You don't see it until you understand what it means.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, brother,
and,
I appreciate
Go One more thing.
Yeah.
Research the Moors. Research the Moors. Moors. Research the Moors. I can't push that hard enough. Okay? Everything you think you know is a lie about history, especially America history, the Native Americans, the Africans, everything. Okay? Africa isn't called Africa. That's a Greek word. The real name, or one of the original names, is Kibalan, is because, Africa is such as we know it is Africa, it's such a big place that it didn't have one name. It's too many places in Kibalan for it to have one solid name. But that's one of the most original names of Africans. And black people aren't called black people, they're not called Africans. Africa is a place, it's not a nationality, ethnicity. So you can't be an African American. Those are two different places. Look up the Moors if you want to figure out your history and where your ancient ancestors come from and all that stuff. And that's the deepest stuff right there, because that's why the Illuminati has the all-seeing eye and the pyramid, and they're trying to steal all the stuff from, as we know, Africa, because the Moors educated a lot of them. And now you see what they're doing now, taking that stuff, trying to hide our history and, try to act like they're Egyptians. And Egypt isn't even called Egypt. A lot of Egyptians may think it's called Egypt. It's called Kemet. Look it up. Egypt is a Greek word. So, and pretty much any word you have in Africa is a Greek word. It's not even real. It's from a third party.
For those who don't want to read any books, and they want to go to YouTube, what people you recommend that they look up on YouTube that they can check out quickly?
The history they don't want to tell you, Moors. Okay, go to my Facebook. Go to my YouTube, then go to my Facebook page. My Facebook link is in every video description, and I have the video on my Facebook page on the Moors. It's a 2-hour lecture that'll teach you everything you need to start off with. All races, black, white, Spanish, anything. Doesn't matter if you're black. You don't have to be. It's still the truth.
My brother, I know I had you longer than usual. My brother, I know I had you on a little extra time, but I appreciate you putting that information out there. And, I'm definitely going to have you back on the show. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of emails at talkforyou@gmail.com about this one, but keep in touch, my brother. All right?
Right.
I appreciate you,
Much
man.
respect.
Definitely. And this show, you can download this show. Just go to the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/thebeattalkforyou. Click on the show, Celebrity Agenda and the Occult. When you look below on the visual screen on the left-hand side, you see a little link that says download. The show is archived as well, so if you don't want to download it, you can check it out periodically. Once again, appreciate everybody for tuning in to Debate Talk for You. Tomorrow we got a show, of course. We have a debate in the Lion's Den. That's right. Tomorrow we got a debate, and Friday we have another debate as well. 2 debates back to back. You don't want to miss it at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Debate Talk for You. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Take care, and God bless.